Hey everybody, welcome back to Board and Savior. Today, I want to go to the zoo twice. We're going to be playing Ark Nova, the solo game of Ark Nova, and doing our darndest to win the solo game of Ark Nova. And winning Ark Nova does not always mean building the most optimal zoo possible. A lot of the time, you're just going to be putting stuff where you can put stuff and making it work with whatever this deck throws at you. But the way that this is going to get so dang wacky is that after we build our zoo in Ark Nova, whatever happens, we are going to then rebuild that zoo in Planet Zoo, a zoo that we can walk around, look at the animals, and I think it's going to be a strange idea, certainly, but maybe also a lot of fun. Okay, so in Ark Nova, you start with a hand of 8 cards that you then need to discard down to 4. You're like 4 starting cards. And here's kind of what we're going for as we play Ark Nova. We have personal objectives to be a conservation-focused zoo, so to support these conservation projects over here. And then we also want to be an aquatic park. We gain extra points for all of the aquatic icons in our zoo, so any wet animals are preferable for us. And then there are some kind of global objectives, which it's global for, you know, if you're playing with 2 or 3 or 4, but for solo, all objectives are global objectives. It's a party of one. But those objectives are to have animals from Asia, to have some natural diversity, so to have kind of multiple different animals like big cats and reptiles and et cetera, and then to have a certain number of reptile icons in the zoo. So we're going for reptiles, we're going for diversity, we're going for Asia, we're going for water, and then conservation zoo, we just want to make sure that we're focusing on actually getting to these projects over here. So our starting hand of cards here, we've got the yellow-throated martin, an Asia-focused conservation project, a frilled lizard, and a reindeer. In Ark Nova, the thing that you do on every single turn is that you will play one of your, whatever these are called, project cards, something like that, I don't know. You are encouraged to play the project card underneath the 4s and the 5s because the task will have a strength associated with where it is. And whenever you play one of these cards, all the other ones will shift on down, and the card that you played will become the one in the 1 slot, the weakest card. So you want to kind of keep playing whatever's at the 5 or the 4 slot, like they're usually both pretty good at the 4 or the 5, and keep things moving along. So right now we're not putting any animals in the zoo, but that's fine because we don't have any enclosures in our zoo yet, any empty enclosures, so that's not a problem. So right now, association tasks are our strongest thing that we could do on our turn because they're underneath the 5. And the association tasks, that's this board over here, that is partnering with universities that could like increase your hand size, or it could get you some research icons, which unlock certain animals. You can work with more animals if you have the research icons, or it might improve your reputation, which grants you access to more of these cards over here, like it gives you more draw options essentially. Or we could partner with a zoo from another continent. And we know that we want to be doing Asian-focused animals, and that will make all animals from Asia cheaper. Every time we play an Asian animal, we'll have to pay $3 less for it. Turn 2, I'm thinking we take this build action and we just build a reptile house out the gate. We know we want to be focusing on reptiles, and it's a 5-space enclosure, and so that means that we can maximize this build being on the 5 slot. I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to build this reptile house, and we're covering up this little bonus, which means that we can place any action card at the 1 slot after finishing our current action. So we can kind of set ourselves up to do what we want to do. And I think that's actually great because here's what we're going to do. So first we need to pay $10 because we pay $2 per space. That's a 5-space thing. Build is going to go all the way back to the 1. And then after finishing the action, we're going to take the sponsors, which was at 5, and we're going to put that at 1 because we don't have any sponsor cards right now. And so it doesn't matter if it's the strongest action. We're not going to be taking it. Okay, so that is another turn gone. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to build first. We're going to take this build action. build one building with a maximum size of 2, because it was underneath the 2. But we only need a tiny little baby 1 size building. And where are we going to put that? This guy doesn't have any build requirements. This little yellow-throated martin, he just needs a 1 space. He's an easy little guy, and he's so cute too. We are in a unique zoo here with this restaurant, and every income gain $1 in income for each adjacent covered space. So I think let's cover up this space here, because that will be an adjacent covered space. So we're gonna do a little card. We're gonna do a card action with a strength of 5. All right. So that means that we can either draw 3 cards and discard 1, or we can snap, which means wherever our little reputation marker is, cards from their back, we can take one directly from the display, so we know exactly what we're getting. I think it sounds a lot better to draw 3 and then discard 1. So our new cards that we are drawing are Lion, Hydrologist, and Indian Cobra. Instantly interested in the Indian cobra because it is both a reptile and an Asian reptile. That's 2 of the things that we're trying to look for. The only problem is, well, the only problems are we need to have 2 research icons. We currently have 0. And we need to use the upgraded animal card in order to put it into the zoo. So there are kind of quite a few things standing in our way of actually putting out the Indian cobra, but we'll take him as a long-term plan. We've got animals right where we want it, because we want to be putting out both of these animals at once. We want to drop the yellow-throated martin and the frilled lizard at the same time for efficiency's sake, but unfortunately we cannot currently afford it. So what are we going to do about that? Here's the thing. I would love to take another association task here, another association action, but we don't have any more guys to dedicate to that. We could take the association action, which says that we can pay $2 for a victory point, but we're trying to make money, not lose money right now. So I'm thinking this association card is going to stay right there, ready for next round when we can do maybe do some research, because we know that we need that for the cobra. So that's going to stay there. Animals are going to stay there. I'm thinking we do the sponsors now, and it's not the most ideal because we are about to get $3 and we need $3, so we're going to be broke after we take our animals action. But hey, what are you going to do? It's the life that I've chosen. So I'm going to take $3 and be all primed and ready to put out my animals. And this is going to be the animals action. So since this has a strength of 5, we can put out 2 animals. How exciting is that? We are going to be putting out the yellow-throated martin for $4, because it usually costs 7, and he is from Asia, so we have that discount. $4, and we will flip over this little enclosure to show that the yellow-throated martin lives right there. In addition, he has Hunter 1. Reveal the topmost card of the deck. If it is an animal card, add it to your hand. Otherwise, discard it. So we're hoping this is an animal card, and it's not. Release of Patents is being discarded. We also get 3 appeal, I believe that is. So we'll get a little bit more money the next time we gain income, which is lovely. Thank you very much, yellow-throated martin. And then we are additionally putting out the frilled lizard, which requires a habitat space of 2, which is fine because we have this lovely reptile house all ready to go. And he also needs to be next to rock, and this reptile house is indeed built next to rock. So we sprint 1, which is draw 1 card from the deck, not a hunter, so it doesn't matter what it is, so we just get it. This is the brown spider monkey, which is critically endangered. Oh dear. That's too bad. I'm sorry, brown spider monkey. And we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 appeal. Nice. I think we're going to stick this right about here, which is going to cover up this bonus, which says that we can take a card from reputation range. I say let's get another reptile, this inland taipan. Now we have an easy choice to make. Sponsors. That is very, very simple. Play one sponsor card with a maximum level of 5 from our hand. So, baby, we got a hydrologist. And I'm not seeing very many of those water icons, which isn't great. But I'm sure they're just at the top of the deck. So we've drawn 2 sponsors. We've got a polar bear exhibit, and then the spokesperson. Each time you play a research icon into your zoo, gain 1 reputation. Well, that didn't solve our animal woes, so that's unfortunate. Can we figure out a way to play 2? I don't think we can. It's not looking like it to me. So I think we just take the animal action now, play the one that we can, play this reindeer into our zoo. So now we have a reindeer right here, which is just beautiful. This is a flock animal of 3, may share the existing enclosure of a, so that doesn't matter to us, since we don't have any other herbivores in our zoo. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 appeal. I think we really want to be focused on like trying to do one of these, because we're running out of rounds before we're done. And I don't know if you've noticed, but we win if the appeal and our victory points, if they cross. They're not really close to doing that just yet. So we need to be focused on getting some victory points, and then getting victory points will also get us access to a few benefits, which could be very, very useful as well. We're actually, with that Thorny Devil draw, we've got the Thorny Devil, and we've got this Inland Taipan, and we can afford to put both of them into our zoo right now, which is amazing. And we're not getting like anything incredible out of the deal, but hey, it's stuff to do, right? It's 2 animals that we can put out, which is very nice. So the problem with building here is that we don't have, the only animal card that we have is this cobra. We know where he's going. He's going into the reptile house. So we don't know exactly what we're trying to build here, because we didn't draw any more animal cards that we absolutely needed to have. So we could build like a petting zoo and hope that we draw that. I think let's just build, I don't know, a 3-fer, a 3 size space, and just hope that we bump into something that wants a 3 size space, right? You know what? Let's do a 4. Spend pretty much all the rest of our money. $8, 4 size space, for no real reason other than it gets us this reputation bonus, which then allows us to upgrade a card, which means that next round we don't need to worry about upgrading a card to get our Cobra into the game, which is just something that's nice. Okay, so first things first, association task maximum value of 5. We are going to release our reindeer into the wild. And so this is a 3 size enclosure, which is now going to be reopened since we don't have that reindeer anymore. He is released into the wild. I'm just going to stick him in this discard pile over here. And 2 things happen here. We're going to get 4 victory points for doing this, and we can take any of these tokens off. And we can either take these guys, which are instant benefits, and they only give us a one-time benefit, or we can take one of these, which is an instant benefit and a benefit every income phase. Let's just have more money to work with. We've got enclosures open, so we need animals to be putting into the enclosures. It's also going to get us 4 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to take this sponsor action and put our polar bear exhibit into our park. Not like incredible for us because we don't have bear icons to be working with, but it's something to do, and it gets us a water icon, our first water icon that we've really even seen. Okay, so where are we going to put this polar bear exhibit? It seems like we have fairly limited options here. Let's do it over here because we get something out of the deal. Okay, so we are covering two spaces with water, so we get $2 because of our hydrologist. And then we also can snap something from within reputation range. Well, these two we can't take because we're past when we could actually play them. So we're going to take the Barbary Macaque, who requires us to have an Africa-affiliated zoo, which we do not currently have. We're going to draw 4 cards and discard 1. And we want some animals that we can play. We got sponsor card. We got 2 sponsor cards. And these are the ones that we already had. All right. Boa Constrictor. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 once we play the Indian Cobra. So we only need 1 more to get the max points from that reptile card. So I think we're going to definitely keep this guy. So we'll keep the meerkat den, huh? Why don't we play some animals, huh? Actually get some freaking animals into this zoo. Wow, we are so reptile focused. I wonder how interesting that will be for Planet Zoo. So first of all, this dude requires just 1 little space in his reptile house. After the current action, perform 1 additional action. Ooh, thank you, King Cobra. So we get an extra action after this one, which is very, very nice. And then the other one is going to be this Boa Constrictor, which costs $16, no discount. Oh, and King Cobra also gets us 6 appeal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boa Constrictor gets us 7 appeal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And after the current action, you may place any action card on 1. So, ooh, okay. This is actually fantastic because we do not need to build right now. We've got an open 3 and an open 4 enclosure. We don't even have the animals for them. So let's put this at the 1 slot since we're not going to be building for a second. And then our free action that we get to take because of the Cobra, we can take this association action. It will give us an upgraded card, which is nice. Let's do it. Let's do it. So we get to upgrade another one of these cards. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more actions for the rest of the game here, which is troubling to say the least. It is at this point of the video where I am going to say we're not winning this one. In my defense, it's been months since I've played Ark Nova, and I forgot how much you need to focus on getting some victory points early, at least in the solo game. Like, boy, I did not remember how essential that was. I was just so focused on building a fun little zoo. And so I think that's how I have to end this, is just like building a fun little zoo and not try to win, because like it's not happening. It's really not happening. So a fun little zoo instead, huh? We have 5 actions left. Let's take this sponsor's action first. And why don't we, oh my goodness, build a little meerkat den? Not for any kind of victory point reason, but instead because meerkats are cute and we'll see them in Planet Zoo. That could be good, and it'll get us a break token as well, or a X token. Let's draw some cards, 4 of them in fact. And I'm not even going to look. I don't even care. I know that we're discarding the ostrich because it's just impossible. Also impossible to do the elephant, but I'd rather have an elephant in my hand than an ostrich. Well, it'd be pretty fun to have a platypus in my zoo. Would it not? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Macaque enclosures. I think there's only 1 kind of macaque in Planet Zoo. So I'm going to build a building right here for our alligator, and it's going to cover this up, which means that I can take something from reputation range, move everybody else down, not that it really matters. So that's the last action of this round. First of all, animals. Play animal cards from your hand. We also get the reputation there. Ooh, or from within reputation range. Interesting. Well, we'll come back to that. Okay, alligator is going into this here habitat. That's going to cost us $18, no discount. Okay, and he gains 1 card from the display, which is cool because then I could take this chameleon and potentially play him. And then our second animal that we're going to play is the platypus. We are going to take the animal action again, and we are going to pay all of our X tokens to make it a super, super powerful animal action and get us some reputation. Great, we unlock this guy. Not that that means anything. And we can play 2 animals again. So let's first play the Japanese macaque here. And for our second, we are going to play the veiled chameleon for just 11, because we have a discount. So 11 for the veiled chameleon. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can snap a card from the display. It does not matter at all. So let's take the bush baby, because bush babies are adorable. Okay, that is the last thing that we get to do, and oh man, if only, like, if I had one more turn, I could take an association task and get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And even then, I don't think we're close enough, because we would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 8 more points. I mean, yeah, we're nowhere near it. Let's see. Did we get any additional points from anything at the end? Points for supporting conservation projects. We supported 1. No extra points there. Water icons in your zoo. We've got 1, 2. We've got 3. We've got 3. So 1 point. Whoop-de-doo. We did not win in Ark Nova. But we did build a zoo with all kinds of crazy critters. And now let's see what happens in Planet Zoo. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Wait, no, that's not what I do now. What has been a matter of moments for you has been a matter of weeks for me. It's May 21st, and I recorded on April 16th or something like that. So it's been a little while, but the zoo is done. What you see before you represents, I don't know, 20, 30 more hours of zoo making. And let's just go on a little tour around the very creatively titled Ark Nova Zoo. So in Planet Zoo, things opened up into a reptile house, and I didn't want to just keep you in like a building right away. I wanted to be able to go outside. So we've got this like glass roof, and then we can see the reptiles. Planet Zoo, for the most part, I was able to find all of the exhibit or like habitat animals that were in Ark Nova, but not the case with the reptiles. We had 3 snakes, 3 lizards, and the only animal that was actually correct from one to the other is the boa constrictor. We also have the death adder and the anacondas. Not what I had. There's no cobra in Planet Zoo, which is wild to me. So that's if you go left when you start, you see the snakes. If you go right, you see the lizards. So for lizards, we have a blue-tongued lizard. We've got some iguanas, and of course, some Gila monsters. All of whom having just a grand old time lounging in their respective enclosures, just being beautiful little guys. Look at them. Look at them. So that's the reptile side of things. We also have this nice little nature scene here because it's beautiful nature, plants, lovely. If you were actually a guest at this zoo, you might come out and let's just say you took the left path. It all connects back around, but you've got some little shops on either side here. If you want some information or some umbrellas, if it starts to rain, you've got some ATMs so you can give me all your money. Let's head over in this direction. So this enclosure over here and this are two different animals. This one over here is our macaques. So let's do what none of the guests are allowed to do and walk into the enclosure. So we've got one little guy taking a little seated snooze there. This friend's walking around. Do we have any little babies? We do have a baby. Hi, bud. Look at him scampering. He's gonna try to get some frozen fruit. Good luck. It's really deep in there. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Oh, that's very cute. I like it a lot. So this enclosure for the monkeys who live inside of it is, it goes kind of deep back here. If they want to be away from the guests, you can also cross this river and enjoy this little scratching post thingy roller, food roller thing over here. Just kind of a nice secluded spot to hang out most of the time there over. Whoa, this should not be growing out of the the planks. It's weird. But yeah, most of the time they're over here. Most of their food and toys and everything are on this side of things. From the guest perspectives, who are not allowed to go into the enclosure, this is what they see. They see this kind of like foresty area over here along this river. They can also come up this way and look from up here. There's also like a little nature talk point that they can get educated on the macaques as they look out over the water and at their enclosure. And on the other side of all of this side over here, this is where the platypi live. Oh, there's one now. Oh, the waddle. I love it. I love it. Look at that little friend. Just having a little waddle. So cute. So cute. We've got another guy over here taking a little rest. Hey, bud. Hey, bud, how you doing? Oh, it's starting to rain a little bit. Platypi, as you know, aquatic mammals, so they need a little bit of water. This enclosure felt a little small to me. I like to give the animals way more room than they require. So there's actually a secret second portion to this enclosure. If you are a platypus and you go for a little swim, you can come up on the other secret side of the enclosure. And over here, there's not a ton over here except for this little burrow. So they can go into this burrow, and if any of the platypi do go into the burrow, then they'll show up. Oh, someone's sleeping in there right now. They will show up on this screen so the guests can still see the platypi when they are all hidden away, but the platypus are just chilling. You notice me close the serious injury discovered. There are too many wolverines currently in one of the enclosures, but they're there because I wanted there to be enough that you could see them because they're kind of small in their enclosure. Wolverines are substituted for the yellow-throated marten, which is the only of the regular like habitat animals that are not actually in Planet Zoo. That screen was off. So as a guest, you can see the platypi from this side. If they're taking a little snooze, you can also see them around where the macaques are on that other side if they are waddling around over here. And then you can view from here as they get into or get out of this little pool, and then obviously the screen back that way. So what else is over here, you're wondering? Well, we saw that if you came this way, you've got the macaques, but if you continued along, we've got some polar bears in here, and it's a little rainy. I'm going to fast forward until it's nice and bright outside again. So you can look out, and if they are going for a swim, which they are not currently, you can see them from here. Let's find out where they actually are. There's one of them. Oh, there's two of them. Oh, little baby going for a swim. Little baby going for a swim. Look at him. Look at him. So if you were a guest, it's not like you're out of luck and you don't see them when they're swimming. I actually have built a little underwater viewing area for the guests. So look at this. If the polar bears are going for a swim, They can... Hey, bud, get out of my way. Okay, it crashed. That doesn't happen while I'm just playing and building the zoo, but it happens as soon as I start recording, so that's fun. All right. Polar bear enclosure. We've seen it. Polar bears swim around. It's so cute. Are they swimming now? They are. Let's take a look. Let's take a close look. Look at him. Oh, okay. I like that. I like that a lot. What happens? Let's just see what happens should you continue along this little path down here. First of all, you get all of this information about how the world is burning and about how we don't treat animals very well. It's kind of a little guilt trip section. Helps people feel like buying things in the gift shop is a good idea. And then, oh my goodness, we've got some Crocs. Some Crocs, some Gators. These are Gators. Jeez, this is incredible how much is going on right here in this underwater viewing. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Having a little swim. A little baby guy. But what if we wanted to see them from a different angle? So we've got the two underwater viewings of the polar bears and of the crocodiliers. Let's come up top here on this little bridge. Let's see what there is to see. I can assure you... Oh, there's one over there. Yeah, definitely gators. I know what I have in my zoo. So yeah, you can come up top, see them swimming. Also, if they are walking around this more like little swampy area, you can see them there as well. I think there's a guy over here right now. Yeah, hanging out in the swamp, getting splashed. So fun. The bridge also continues on this side. It goes all the way around here, and you've got... Oh, everyone's frozen. Okay. So the path continues on this side, and bridges over here as well, so you can see them from all sorts of different angles. Lots and lots of gators. You've also got like a little bit of a nature display here, looking out over the enclosure. It's further away. Like I would like if the path was more like here, but this path ends up being like a perfect circle, and we'll see what this is in a minute. But I like the perfect circle path, and so I was like, well, what are you gonna do? So this is where the little underwater viewing puts you out. You can go up there. You can also have some education and just learn how tall you are compared to a giraffe. A little nature. And then we've got two enclosures on either side. Oh my goodness. So many little sleeping meerkats. So many. Let's see the ones actually out and about. So this is the meerkat enclosure. Wow, he's just standing there. I want to see one of them do their little stand-up routine. Do the thing. Oh, he's pooping. That's not what I wanted. Look at how many of them there are. Why is none of them doing a thing? Run. There is a bit more foliage here than there technically should be, because I think it just looks nicer with a little bit more grass and stuff. But they're in like just kind of plain, more deserty spaces typically. So there's not as much tree, there's not as much bush, that sort of thing. But I think this just looks nicer. We've also got a little rock formation to disguise the keeper entry there. You can play with these bubbles. So that's the meerkats. And then on the other side, we've got the injured wolverines. This guy's climbing down from a tree. Hey, buddy. Walk right into that pumpkin. He scampers. This is one of them. Where are the rest? I have many for a reason. There's one. Hi. Just sort of hanging out. Just kind of standing there. This is the last thing to really show off. In our Ark Nova zoo, we had the unique... wow, there was just a security guard chasing someone who stole money from people. That's something that happens in this game. There are thieves, pickpockets, and they steal money from people, and you have to have security guards to prevent that from happening. Interesting mechanic. There was a restaurant kind of in the center of our Ark Nova zoo that was like our unique player board. And so I thought, well, I just have to have that in the center of this zoo. So clearly, this is food, first of all. Obviously, everything we're eating is food. It's edible. And it's all glass greenhouses. So clear as well. It's, you know, what are you going to do? Some things are cleverer than others. But this is our restaurant, and here's how it works in Planet Zoo. So we've got all this lovely area here. This is kind of like restaurant waiting area. If you're waiting in line, your kids can play these little like educational games. Again, see how tall they are this time compared to a gorilla. He's got kind of creepy eyes, not gonna lie. They can put their hands on these paws, I guess. I don't know what the idea is, but the restaurant, how it works is you queue up here, and then you will walk into this scary black void. Let's look for this blue shirt guy. Okay, so blue shirt guy just walked through. And when you walk through, you are put into one of these tables. That's not the right blue shirt guy. You like instantly populate into one of these tables. There he is, blue shirt guy. And so this is kind of like the seating area. The idea is that this is like a sit-down restaurant. There are also little counter service things if you want to go sit on a bench instead of paying the high prices of my restaurant. You can go sit on a bench, and all these things overlook the zoo. You can see the Wolverine enclosure down there, the alligators over that way. There is the platypus over there, and also there's just like nice little greenery all around that took so long to put down. But that's the whole idea. It's just sort of like little paths that lead you there, and this was definitely a labor of love to get all of this stuff working and like nice and symmetrical as well. We've got this like central kind of circle, and then all these paths. There's these paths that go out on either side, and this is all very, very symmetrical and methodical. The whole zoo is, I have a hard time switching between curved and straight paths. Like I either end up doing like all curved and then it doesn't feel like there's any logic to it, or it's all straight and then it feels like super rigid. So I tried to have like a little bit of like a structured area here, and then like some kind of winding, more curvy paths to make it feel a little bit more like there's just paths carved out through the natural terrain. The other thing that I did that I haven't done on other zoos and I'm very happy with for this one, this is just like me praising myself now, I guess, but in kind of Disney fashion, I made sure that there were good sight lines. So the zoo is in this sort of like amphitheater. Geez, it is torrential pouring. Oh my goodness, look at this beautiful shot as the sun rises over the zoo. Aren't you glad I fast forwarded? So the whole idea is that anywhere in the zoo that you are, whenever you are a guest, you're always gonna feel like you are in like a little oasis. There's like this forest that goes beyond as far as the eye can see. You've just got trees like fading off into the horizon. If you're at the edge of the park, like if we come over here, if you're at the edge of the park, there's just like dense forest, so it doesn't feel like there's just an empty field beyond, which is what is beyond the forest that I have made. But you're never gonna know what really is like the rest of this zoo, because I could hypothetically expand into all of this space, but you know, on Ark Nova we only had so many enclosures. But that's just kind of to make it feel a little bit more closed in, cozy, all that stuff. And I've never done that in any of my zoos before. I kind of just like have it be where like if this is where the zoo ends, it's just like open empty space, and that just doesn't look very good. Obviously if you zoom out like this also doesn't look great. It looks a little weird, but from a guest's perspective, which is the important thing, I think it looks really nice. And so that is what I've done in Planet Zoo. This was a very weird, fun little thing. I had no idea how it was going to be. I definitely underestimated the time that it was going to take to do the Planet Zoo stuff. It is I said May 21st. This uploads tomorrow. I cut it close to get all this stuff done. So let me know what you think of not only this video, I'm very interested in that, but also this kind of idea. Like, I've done other things like this, like the Fog of Love with a couples counselor, like sort of either playing a board game in a way that it's not meant to be played in a fun way, or incorporating like other mediums or ideas. Is that something that interests you? Because I like it a lot as an idea, and I feel like it doesn't do as well on the channel as like some of the other types of videos that I make. So I'm just wondering if you're like, I mean, I'll watch this, but that's not really why I'm on the channel. This is my preferred thing to watch. This is something that I'm not super interested in, but like this one in particular was interesting. Just let me know what you think. Also, if you have any fun ideas of like play Spirit Island on an island, I don't know. If you have any ideas like that, I would love to hear. But that is where we will leave things for this video. Toodaloo and goodbye, and thank you very much for watching. Bye. Do you ever wonder how long I wave after I say goodbye? You'll never know. Still going though.